Has it been a year already? Time certainly has a way of flying. Anyway, as you know, as you can tell by my beard and my old man face, and my fine friends, I am KingOldalbert, and this is year 2 of my adventures on Sovereignty Ascending. Ah, my friends, they have found the drink. I see you are all celebrating our independence. Think of the impression we are making. Oh man. These are my leaders, my nation mates, Sabriel, Phoenix Tail, Rai, truly loyal friends. I see this is not an armor wearing occasion. I'm afraid I have work to do. I will make merriment later. They are respectable members of the community. Well, certainly, I have no issue with alcohol. Here we see fine farms, and you may be wondering, this doesn't look like Florence. Your speech is difficult to discern. Anyway, this is formerly Wolfhill. Well, truly still Wolfhill. They have a really nice house that I'd love to demonstrate, show some of the inside of, and I perhaps will later. They have a lovely castle, a smaller shack, and this birch lining that I'm truly a fan of. A watchtower, many well-made design choices, but I still have not explained what brings me to this fine nation, although I hinted at it. For Florence has declared its independence from the Coaxltan Federation. Well, that is not exactly true. Wolfflor has declared its independence from the Coaxltan Federation. We are going to be staying in this fine house until things are worked out and we determine if it's safe for us to return home. And yes, but I wish to show you the things I have done not related to the recent independence, and on the way I will tell you the story of the independence. My, all that can change in a simple year, a simple 12 months. Well, there was certainly a strong independence movement in Florence from the beginning. As many of you probably already knew, I was perhaps one of the strongest proponents of independence. Rai and Phoenix Tails were more on the fence, but quickly took up the notion as well, or had it from the beginning, and were just wanted to make sure that nothing went awry. But I have one question. What are the coordinates of Milan? I want to show the world my office. Hopefully they're nearby. In their inebriated state. No idea, says Sabriel. He's a bit drunk. Shame. Anyone else online that could perhaps help me? I'm afraid all of my friends are inebriated. I hope this is the right direction. Anyway, back to the story of Florence's independence. Now, it all began with Sunday school, which is a concoction of sabriels that I do not fully understand, but apparently many things are discussed, most of which are apparently unrelated to our independence. I was not allowed into Sunday school, and I only learned late of the revolutionary components of our nation, and I was not happy that I was not included, although I was one of the main proponents for independence originally, and that I was only told at a very late date about what was occurring. But alas, you cannot always get what you want, as the proverb says. And independence is what I wished for, independence is what I got, even if the manor excluded my participation up until a very late date. We are still an independent nation, so I have no reason to be sour. Posey was not happy, but he also said he had no interest in wrecking us in combat, which he very well could do. I will be sorry to most likely leave the projects I have been working on behind. Perhaps Rai. What? Let's see. No, I told people. The coordinates were, I want to say 38, 20, 25, perhaps? Perhaps if I follow this coast. Truly, my navigation leaves something to be desired. Many have recommended a journeyman's assistant by the name of Journey Map. Or was it 28? Now I can hardly remember. Oh, Christ lordy. Zombies. So yes, Posey was not happy, but in the end, he did not wish for bloodshed to exclude us, and he did not wish to have unwilling members. The only not yet determined member is Psiotic Psi, who may still remain in the Coaxltan Federation, and his is Fort Milan was mostly his doing, so it remains to be seen what the result there will be. I think I know my way from here. The fine bridges. This land was once a part of Florence, but I believe they declared their independence, and so it is no longer. And I believe this river, and if not the other river, should take me there. So we're beginning anew in Wolf Hill. We'll most likely repopulate Florence when whatever international reaction occurs will have occurred and will have subsequently blown over. I am excited. I see it as a new beginning in a way for our people, and prior to our departure from the Coaxltan Federation, I was quite stoked. I became the personal assistant to Psiotic Psi, which means that I was the assistant to the ranking member of Florence, although I was still perhaps 5th or 6th in the overall hierarchy. I have gained the trust of the Florentines, and I have worked very hard on my personal project as well as on the sanctuary itself, and I think I have gained the respect of the Florentines, through those efforts. Now, other exciting news are cannons. Cannons are the newest feature added to the game. They were announced that they would be included since day one, but only very recently have they been implemented. Ah, is this the beach I think it is? Again, as I said, my navigation skills lead something to be desired. What is on top of this hill? Oh Christ. Oh Christ, I am all the way back where I started. Christ Lord. I simply want to show you the work I've done on Milan, and now I have proved myself a dunce. Can someone point me in the direction of Milan or Florence? Sovereingnty asked which direction I would needed pointing in. At least drunkards can still point. Hopefully they still have their wits about them in order to navigate, give me some navigational help, even if they are mostly inebriated. My horse is fast, and I have many things to speak of, and only few to show, so is of no matter. Thank you, sir. I see you have sobered some. 3728. Indeed, it was this direction. Well, simply more of the countryside. Always look on the bright side, is what I say. Always look on the bright side. Riding along beaches generally brings me joy, although this particular sand harvesting operation was done rather poorly and distastefully, and it upsets a nature-minded man such as myself. I cannot speak, forgive me. Yes, cannons. I was invited to join various teams to test their functionality and their specific uses, but it is truly I am not a man for such novel things. I am old. I am set in my ways. Something's utility must be proved beyond a doubt before I spend my time pursuing its ins and outs, but I'm sure the younger men and the more eager among the ranks of Florence and the many nations of Sovereignty Ascending. Look at that, I even said ascending, not ascended. You're welcome, Raxus Anode, Mr. J Electro, Blisschen, Cygod. You're welcome that I called your server by the correct name. Although I'm sure an old man like me will make the mistake many times to come, many times over to come. So this was the correct road. I simply took the incorrect direction on the correct road. I built a few cool things in Milan that I would like to show off. And perhaps we'll do a short tour of Florence, just in case any of you fine folks have not had the opportunity to personally see it. Look at how large that sanctuary is. We're entered, and it's not even yet in view, and me being the incompetent man that I am, I hardly know which direction I should go, but I guessed correctly. Here is my old home. I hope to return, for it was truly a nice place, and because of the power of the sanctuary and Posy's seeming reluctance to take action against us, I am very hopeful that I will be able to return. The only thing I'm bad at is these godforsaken fence gates. Now, I wish to show you something that I find personally to be very cool. Wow, I was not wearing armor that whole time. proved myself to be a dunce yet again. This is my stable. My horse, unfortunately, despite the sign, "No touch, please," seemed pretty straightforward to me. Now you might be wondering if I'm taking you up. Well, first I should tell you where I'm taking you. I'm taking you to the cloud. Looks more like an airplane, still needs some work, but I have built a fancy device to get to the cloud, and I think you all will appreciate the design. Step out, step in, and for those of you with more knowledge of Minecraft's in and outs, you'll already have guessed what will next occur. And now, as the world appears beneath me, I am in the cloud. The fluffy white cloud. This is my home. There's the Florentine flag. I am very proud of it. The office of the assistant to psychotic KingOldalbert. Has subsistence and the materials with which to breed chickens, and they will give me experience, and there is an enchantment table several floors below me, although it may have been taken, but I am not sure. I doubt yet. Along with, well, most of it has been used. A gift of alcohol from a good friend of mine, as well as wheat and seeds. Here's the sanctuary itself. At 190, it is one of the largest, if not the largest, sanctuary currently active. A chair for whoever is visiting, and perhaps my crowning masterpiece, KingOldalbert's chair of feeling important, as well as some more chests for my personal belongings. Let's just say I feel very important, and I have a very nice chair. It has obsidian, quartz, gold. Look at this, I'm sacrificing sanctuary upgrades just to feel like a boss. That's enough about that. If you wish to make my life really unpleasant, this is where my bed is, that you shall destroy. I'm working on the top of the cloud currently, and though I have died several times and it will give me a card attack, next I'll show you the way in which you get down. Oh, it is scary though. My heart races every time I take the fall. More floors, including an enchantment room which is still intact and still includes an anvil. Reading is fun, stay in school. Excellent advice, excellent advice. I showed Florence proper in my last video, and Ulm has been disbanded, so now you have seen, I believe, all of Florence. Truly, my short time in Florence as an independent nation, then as a member of the Coaxltan Federation, and now as a member of Florhil, has been very exciting and very fulfilling, and I hope that it may continue to be like that. No matter what should happen, no matter what wars, trials, tribulations, friendships gained and lost. Truly the first year was a magnificent one. Here's to the second year being even better. From the time I washed on shore at Milan and got to know Deckwash and the other Florentines, until the time when eventually this old man with a grey beard will die. Thank you for listening to my video diary, and I hope Sovereignty Ascending has treated you as well as it has treated me.